Good morning, everybody. Welcome into another episode of the Pat Bernard Show right here on Stream Punk Sports, Dubro Sports. It's going down. well, well. Here we are, just kicking off opening weekend for the Phils. Flyers with a dramatic move, and your Philadelphia Union, which I'm going to get started with. The Philadelphia Union go down to South Beach and did not get the South Beach party that they wanted because they got waffled. They got waffled in South Beach. Just not a great start for your Philadelphia Union. I mean, look, they were bringing pressure yesterday. They just got waffled as far as, and again, it's showing you the level of difference. As good as the Union been playing, you got to give credit to that Inter Miami team. That Inter Miami team has been playing great soccer. I've been playing great soccer. And, you know, when they can, and like I said, the Union we're making strides, trying to find ways to get through the Inter Miami's back door, but they just couldn't. Inter Miami just played great defense. Their goaltending was really great between between the pipes. But you just saw it near the 30th minute mark where Inter Miami was just walking up, taking their time, looking where they wanted to go with the ball next. You know, Robert Taylor and Benjamin Crunchimis. I don't want to butcher his name. Crunchimis. I don't. They come off the rush, and Robert Taylor. They make a pass, goes back to Robert Taylor, and he just gets a good clear shot. And I noticed sometimes that's been happening with the Union in their last two losses, where their defense gets thrown off. And this in particular, they got thrown off. They got thrown off yesterday. They did. Inter Miami. Look, it was a good battle, but you know it was. And here, it was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time before the goat stroked his venom. The goat himself just took Ivan Kunufich right to school. He took him right to school. Beat him 1-on-1, creates his own shot, and Lionel Messi. And Messi just rips one where Andre Blake just couldn't reach it. And that was right after the second half. That's what kicked off the second half. Now, granted, the Philadelphia Union came back with Daniel Gazdag. Daniel Gazdag will get the first of the season. But then Daniel Gazdag, I mean, like I said, after he got the first goal from Quinn Sullivan finds Daniel Gazdag. Daniel Gazdag finds the back of the net. Daniel Gazdag would try again. But again, the adjustments that Inter Miami made, just putting two defenders right on Gazdag, shutting him down. They made Ty Baribo normal. I mean, this was a game where the Philadelphia Union would have to dive deep into their bag of tricks to try to win this game. It was tough, but like I said, this is why you see Inter Miami. Well, this is why they're undefeated. They only have one draw, get their fourth win of the season. They play good soccer. They play really good soccer, those boys down there in South Beach. Like I said, this was not the South Beach party that the Philadelphia Union wanted. They took their licks during this game. But it is what it is. It is what it is. You know, Like I said, tough game. Tough game. The Union fumbled yesterday. They, like I said, they fall 4-2 in the season, second now in the Eastern Conference. Still very early in the season. Still very early. So, again, what's your guys' take? If you guys saw the match yesterday between Inter Miami and Union, please chime into the show. This is yours. This is yours. Inter Miami. The Union try to go the distance to them. You got to give the Inter Miami defense credit. Got to give their goaltending credit. It's what really kept them in the game because the Union had plenty of opportunities yesterday. Plenty of opportunities. But the defense in front of the goaltending was great. Taking a page out of the Union's playbook. Played them tough. I mean, I like, it was tough to try to get a goal. And like I said, I'm glad that Gazdag finally got one off the Schneid. He was due. He created his own shot. He called just in that spare moment. Inter Miami's defense was thrown off, and then where he could find the back of the net. And he went to school and took liberties. But when you're playing against the GOAT, it's kind of tough. You got him, Luis Suarez, the MLS Splash Brothers, if you will. The tough duo. That's a tough duo to go against. And again, the Union didn't really get anything going until late in the game. But in the two losses, does this kind of tell you where the Union stand? Because I think that's going to be the Union's ultimate test. And yeah, at the end of it, you're going to have, if you're a Union fan, come playoff time, you're going to have to hope that someone else knocks off Miami. Or they're just going to have tired legs. To beat them head on like this is going to be very tough. Very tough. That team is for real. For real down there. Those boys in South Beach. I mean, you saw it. I mean, Gazdag was playing Luis Suarez pretty tough. Then he made a nice little pass. Suarez made his little pass to his boy, Messier, and Messier just took him to town. Messier just took Ivan Kunich, and he said, "Welcome to the MLS, kid." Boop, created his own shot. Oh, my man Mitch. What's up, dude? Good morning. How are you, sir? So, guys, like I said, if you watch this Union game, tell me what you saw. Robert Taylor, and it was all about the midfielders for the Inter Miami to get things rocking and rolling there in the first. Robert Taylor getting his goal again off the rush, and it was a great play by Inter Miami to create their own shot right there. And then, like I said, later on, right into the second half, rather, and right at the beginning of the second half, that's when Messier they just schooled him, and it was a 3-on-3. So, well, like I said, Luis Suarez finding his boy Messier. Messier gets his second goal of the year. I believe this is Luis Suarez's fourth assist already. So this was tough. This was a tough loss. Tough loss in South Beach. Losing 2-1, so they didn't get their doors blown off or anything like that. But 4-2, they fall in the season. Like I said, second in the East. Still plenty of soccer to go ahead. So, are you guys worried? Because do you think? I mean, I can't really say that the Union played a bad game. Now, if this was it would have been a clean sheet. I would have thrown in there, but like I said, they played them tough. They played this Miami team tough. They just could not find anywhere. And most of the time, the Union were shooting from distance, trying to snipe one in. They just couldn't find it. Like I said, luckily Gazdag in the 79th minute, where Quentin Sullivan finds him down low and he just rips one to the back of the net. And that's what would give them their goal. But yeah, however, like I said, tough loss. We're going to see what the Philadelphia Union do from here. They're going to get a lot of games at home in the course of April. So again, you're not going to be playing Miami every week, but it's going to be fun to see. It's going to be fun to see. Again, maybe this is a learning curve. They got Orlando. They got Orlando coming in to Philly. Orlando's going to want some revenge coming this weekend. But again, you can start building the momentum. Then you could play against Orlando. Then you go down and you play against NYCFC. You go on the road to go up there. So this could be a great time for the Union. But to me, what's this team going to do move forward? What is this team? How is this team going to get back into the win column? Because I think this team's going to be good this year. And like I just mentioned, I know Orlando's going to be coming in here looking for revenge from the Union going down there and beating the brakes off them. But the Union got to be ready to get back to square one. And I didn't see Wagner in the lineup. So which he looked like he was dealing with that lower back soreness. But again, it's going to be fun to watch how this Union team responds to this loss. Now, I think they can handle Orlando. I think Orlando's going to be an okay team. I don't think they're going to be anything scary. I think what you saw yesterday is what you're going to get come playoff time. I think the only team that is going to stay in the way of the Philadelphia Union winning a championship is Miami. Now, like I said, it's not real. I mean, like I said, it's very early, so it's hard to tell what teams are now compared to what they're going to look like come August, coming down the stretch. We've got to see how this team flips around. We've got to see how the Union flip this around. But like I said, it's a very early start, 4-2. I'm not upset. They played tough. Luckily, they found a goal in garbage time. It just wasn't enough. Just wasn't enough for Miami. You got to credit Miami. You got for playing a tough defensive game. You got to credit those guys. You got to credit those guys for playing tough. So, guys, again, if you're just joining me this morning, I want to say thank you. Tune in if you guys have watched it. What was your take from this Miami game? What did you learn? What did the Union do for you yesterday? Are you guys scared? Are you guys thinking they're just going to be a playoff team? Does this loss tell you possibly that this team, like I said, I know it's very early. But I just feel like this is the only team that can hold back the Union. I think they've learned from playing Nashville. But I definitely feel like this is a team that they competitively can go toe to toe with, is Miami. Like I said, Miami is probably going to see a lot of action again. So we'll see what happens, though. You know what I mean? It should be the Union should be up for any kind of task that comes their way. Like I said, I'm glad to see Daniel Goslock get off tonight. I like to see Uwa trying to find the back of the net. I need this team to get a little bit more creative, other than Ty Baribo being your answer. I need to see other guys step up as well. I'm talking about striker wise. I need to see Uwa start getting a little bit more involved on the scoreboard. We know Quentin Sullivan. I know, Wagner. Those guys got eagle eyes. But you got to do a little bit more, especially when you're going to face that Miami team. They can't be shell shocked that they're on the same field as Messi. That feeling's got to be out the window. You're here to do a job. You're here to take care of business. So, guys, like I said, big takeaway though: the Philadelphia Union falls short to Miami 2-1 in South Beach. This is not the South Beach party that the Philadelphia Union wanted, but we'll see what they can do moving forward. My right-hand man, Steven Entes, who I will be doing the attacking third with on It's a Wrap Sports come this Thursday. He says, no, Kai Wagner, and it showed in the first half, like the fight they had in the second, bro. Though, yeah, listen. Look, I told you, big difference first and second. See, first and second half, the Philadelphia Union, like I said, brought it, and I like. But again, you gotta be more aggressive. To me, you gotta show more of a. You cannot let that mess. You can't let them get on the scoreboard first, and it showed. But yeah, I'm with you, Steve. I like the fight in the second half. All right, guys, listen. I'm going to transit. I'm going to go into another topic. It was opening weekend for MLB, and you're fighting Phillies. That's right. You're fighting Phils. Looking good. Looking good after 2 games. What's your take from the Phillies? I was. Hold on a second. Let me get it right here. I'm sorry, Seth. Because I'm going to go over the good, the bad, the ugly from this weekend. There you go. Steve's going back to the Union. He goes, they had opportunities to level things up, but we had to we will take it back that Thursday. We'll talk about that Thursday, brother. Yeah, I'm with you, Steve. Oh, my man Dave Arnold, what's up, dog? He goes, relax, home slice. It's only a Nationals, really. Oh, come on. Here goes David the Downey. I can't even get it right. Debbie Downer. I need more coffee. David Downer. That's what we're going to start calling you, Dave, Mr. Yarnold. Phillies hitting dingers in D.C. Love to see it. Bats were alive yesterday. Yes, they were. And David, they were facing adversity early. They didn't get on the scoreboard first. Now, listen, I'm going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly. Kyle Schwarber smacking dingies in back-to-back games. I love the Kyle Schwarber approach. Love it. He knows when to get aggressive. He's working pitches. And this whole philosophy thing with lefties versus righties, with Kyle Schwarber leading off, whether he's batting up and cleanup, I love it. So far the analytics have it right. Kyle Schwarber came to play. And how about yesterday? Look at the bottom part of that lineup. Brandon Marsh, who struggled on opening day, went 0 for 4 with a bounce back. Couple hits, home run. Like, he's looked good. And I don't care, Dave, that it's just the Nationals. Because you saw what happened on opening day with Mackenzie Gore. 13 Ks and 6 innings, Dave. Yes, the Phillies look good against, so far look like they looked really good against the Nationals bullpen. They looked really good against the Nationals bullpen. But like I said, I loved what I saw yesterday at Brandon Marsh, Bryson Stott came up huge. Bryson Stott with a nice homer. He goes 2 for 3. He had a couple walks himself. But right now, your player of the weekend so far in opening weekend is Kyle Schwarber. Kyle Schwarber with 2 dinghies. I mean, the Schwarber bombs were going off in DC. 2 Schwarber bombs back to back, 4 RBIs. He's already racked up 3 runs, 4 hits. Like, he would have had a double yesterday. He just got caught up right there in the beginning. You're getting contributions from Bryce Harper. You didn't really get much from Realmuto yesterday. Come on, Dave. He says the Reading Phillies could look good against the Nationals bullpen. Here we go. Mr. Yarnold, a.k.a. the stick in the mud. But you got to give credit, too. I mean, another fun thing was fun to watch. What we all had questions for, how Jesus Lorado was going to look like. What Jesus Lorado was going to bring to the bullpen, to the game. And Jesus looked like Jesus, the mighty God, Greek God. Because he was working the bottom of the strike zone with his sliders, his fastballs, his changeups. He was painting the corners yesterday. Getting the Nats bats to bite. Jesus Luzardo was just cooking yesterday. 11 Ks for Jesus. Loved what I saw. At times, he looked like he didn't have great command. But then when he got into a zone, you could see why. He's the number 2 pitcher. And how about Wheeler on opening day? Really good stuff to see. We got a couple more comments coming in. Steve says, stock looked great yesterday. I'm really high on the stock this season. Oh, well. Speaking of big dingers, here goes a big dinger himself. My man, my right-hand man, Al Safiri. He goes, I was waiting for people to get us. I was waiting for the people to get us, Pat. about the Phillies winning. Yeah, listen, there's nothing to complain about, Al. There's nothing you can complain about with this Phillies team right now. I get it. It's only it took my hamster on the wheel to get that, Al, but I got you. But listen, the bad was against the starting pitching against Mackenzie Gore, right? But the bats start to come alive, like Steve Finetta said. The bats are coming alive. You have to be happy what what you're seeing from this Phillies team. Like I said, it's showing you flashbacks of 22 a little bit. I know. Listen, it's open in Sears, right? There's a buttload, a big giant buttload of baseball to go. I get it, but so far so good. Steve says Phillies pitching is going to be the driving force this season. Yeah, I still don't know why they have uh what's that clown's name? I try to brain fart him. I can't even think of the clown's name. It'll come back to me. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank. He worst thing is the sliced bread. I can't think of it. I don't know why he's starting in the Phillies starting rotation as the 5. But I can't. I don't know why I'm brain farting. It'll come back to me. I need more caffeine. Apparently, I didn't drink enough coffee. But anyway, like the Phillies pit and Steve, I like it. Ty Walker, thank you, Steve. Like I don't know why he's still in the lineup. I mean, this Phillies team is going to be legit. I think, and we've all like you go from Wheeler, Luzardo, Nola, Suarez, Sanchez. Like that's or Sanchez. Like that's going to be deep. That's deep. Like that is going to be deep. That's going to give Phillies a lot of trouble. Dave's saying I see Turner is having back spasm. Sosa is a solid shortstop. Sosa played okay yesterday, Dave. Yeah. Shut up, Al. He goes, you couldn't pay me enough to be your right hand. It has seen it has seen things. Yes, 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 Al. It's seen weird things too. A lot of weird things, Dave. My man Al. Al says the bullpen needs to see legit. Needs their bullpen needs to their see needs to see their legs still. Yeah. Listen, and look, bullpen's a bullpen. Look, that's still be questionable. Again, you still got decent arms coming out of that bullpen. Jose Alvarado, still got some of the old names coming out of there. I'm okay with it. Thank you guys. Thanks, Steve and Dave. Walker's your 5th star. Yeah, that's where the Phillies lose me. I don't need to see Taijuan Walker anymore in the Phillies uniform. I'm done. I'm out. You couldn't pay me enough to watch that turd. Stiff beyond stiff. But yes, I mean, like I said, there's some good, there's some bad to take away from this Phillies team. But it's kind of showing you glimpses of what they are. You know what I mean? And for Kyle Schwarber to stamp it in the opening series. Now, listen, is he going to play like this every series? No. But there's going to be someone else who is going to step up. There's going to be someone else who is going to step up. Like you saw yesterday, right? Brandon Marsh going 0 for 4 on opening day. You know what he did yesterday? Homer, couple hits. He looked good. Bryson Stott, couple hits, walked. But listen, and maybe it's just me being optimistic. But just because I guess how bad the Flyers season went and the 76ers have crashed and burned. And I'm going to talk a lot about the Flyers coming up soon. But I'm happy though. I'm happy from what I saw in opening weekend from your Phillies. Really am. Like I said, it's a small sample size. It's only 2 games. Now we're going to see what Nola brings to the table. Big Al saying he's still here because of money and herbs. Yeah. That's the only reason why he's here. He stinks. I can't stand Taijuan Walker. Never wanted him. Every time he was in the Mets uniform, we would tattoo him. I never signed up for Taijuan Walker. There's a reason why he doesn't never suit up for a postseason game for the Phils. Topper knows better. So, and let me ask you guys, speaking of Topper, I mean, how do you like his whole persona? I mean, the lefties versus righties things, where he's coming in, where he's having Turner lead off against lefties and Kyle Schwarber lead off against righties. I mean, so far, analytically, this is right. So far, so good. 11 runs yesterday from your Phillies. 11 runs. They put up 18 runs in the last 2 games. Dave saying, I was surprised that Nola got put back as your 3rd starter. Well, listen, after what Jesus Lorenzo brought yesterday, 11 Ks, Dave. He was tattooing the bottom of the strike zone. He was tattooing that strike zone yesterday. It was nice to see. Like I said, there was clips and times where he was a little bit lost of his command, but majority of the time he was tattooing that bottom strike zone with his fastballs, his changeups, his sliders, curveballs. I mean, it was nasty stuff he was throwing. I liked what I saw. Steve says 160 games to go. Small sample size. Small sample size that I'm happy about, but I'm losing my mind there when they lose. Yeah, listen, Dave, that's baseball for you, bro. Every day, live and die by the ball, by the bat. Every game. Oh, my man, Joe Sullivan, the John. What's up, buddy? He says, good morning, Pat. 2 great outstanding wins. Good morning, Pat. 2 great winning outings by the starters for so far. Yeah. Like, I know the Phillies have struggled against Mackenzie Gore, but, the Phillies have answered back. Zach Wheeler, 8 Ks, one opening day. Jesus Lorado, 11 Ks yesterday. Yeah, but Dave, you can't say that, Dave. And I get you. He goes with Nola's contract, he should be your number two starter. I get you, Dave. But you got to go by the eye test. That's what spring training's for. It's all about the eye test. There's a reason why Nola got bumped down to number three. But Dave, you also know we've seen the best of Nola, and we can see really ugly Nola. There's times where Nola's playing like an ace. There's times he's playing like an ace. So it's so you see the best of Nola. He gives you good and bad stuff. And when he's bad, it's a snowball effect, right? It's not like it's just one bad pitch or one bad inning. It's consistent. I mean, he gets you some sloppy stuff at times. And there's times he throws ice. Joe says the money is the money. Nola eats innings over the 162. Yeah. And guys, this is the Patrick Bernard show. So guys, I do appreciate you guys checking me out here in Stream Punk Entertainment. But I definitely appreciate you guys chatting with me this morning. Definitely love it. But yeah, let's continue a little bit more about this Phillies team because there's one more thing I gotta get. So I named this show Spring Cleaning because now we're transitioning from all the winter teams and we're moving on from the Sixers, the Wings, the Flyers. But there's been some ugliness that's come from the Flyers, and I'm about to get into that. But now we're transitioning over to the Union. We're getting ready for the summer, right? And before you go to the summer, you got to get through the spring. You got the Union and you got the Phillies. And both spring teams, so far, so good, have looked good. The Union are off to a hot start. They didn't win yesterday, but they're still 4-2. I mean, we'll take it, right? Something to get behind. And the Phillies have looked good. Joe says no is Mannering at times, but they missed him. Yeah, I agree, Joe. Look, Nola can make you want to rip your hair out, but there is days where he is pretty good. Here goes Muffler Mike. Let's give his update. He goes Philly power rankings: 1 Union, 2 Phillies, 4 1 Union, 2 Phillies, 3 Eagles, 4 Water Dogs, 5 Flyers, 6. Yeah, well, no, let me change that for you. The Eagles will always be number 1 because the Super Bowl reigns over everything. Number 2 would be the Union. Number 3 would be the Phils right now. Number 4 will probably be, you could pick your nose for which comes next. Probably the Water Dogs. And I don't know about those winter teams from the Wells Fargo Center. But anyway, I got one more segment to get into. So, and I want to talk about this. John Tortorella will no longer be your Philadelphia Flyers head coach. He's out after going on his third season as the Flyers head coach. Shocker. And now I want to get into it because it went from him being a part of this he went from being all in on this rebuild till now everyone else is the problem. And I questioned this. Not too long ago. I said, is this really a rebuild? Or is this what they tell the Flyer sheep when things don't go right? That this is a rebuild. that we're 2 to 3 years away. We're 2 to 3 years away. And we're 2 to 3 years away. Don't worry, Flyer fans. We're 2 to 3 years away. This is Travis Konecny's third head coach. Like, how do you not want to get out of here? How do you see that? I mean, unless Travis Konechny is here and here for the payday, and that's it. But if you want to win a cup, you have to leave Philadelphia. I hate to say this team is cursed. Dave says blame Torch for the Fly guys playing bad. All his fault, right? Are you kidding me? I'm not buying. Dave, I'm with you. I'm with you, Dave. I'm not mad at Torch. I mean, believe it or not, I was the first guy. Me and my man Mike Lyro from PM and the AM. We're the first to be the ones to tell you we didn't want Torch here. However, with his 3 years of being here, I start to really engage and like Torch's coaching. Now, one of his flaws, though, and it does come back on him. I mean, the power play situation that this team just could never find the back net was horrible. I mean, this team stunk on power play. But when they let Sean Walker walk out this door, and I'm starting to wonder if Danny Briere is the right guy for this job. I know it's only year two or going on two, but there's some things he's done. And that's when I look at John Tortorella, and now I'm trying to question Danny Briere. I mean, like I said, they let Sean Walker go, and when they let Sean Walker go, that whole defense just went down into the tubes, going right down the toilet bowl. Like it looked like, and we looked like we were competing for something last year, but the whole the Carhart thing took place, and then this team was done. Like we have a bunch of young guns, and they said. So I'm going to go back to some of these quotes here. John Tortorella, in a couple of his statements, said, "There is no light at the end of the tunnel." I'm not used to really. He's not really interested in coaching this kind of a rebuild team. Then Danny Briere says things have escalated, going back towards near the trade deadline or a little after. Torch is a complicated man. Then he backed it up by saying he's entitled to disagree with me because he's earned that right. But, I mean, look at some of the losses this month. Just alone this month. Losing 7-2 to the Maple Leafs. You lost 7-2 to the Blackhawks. You got smoked at home, losing 5-0 to the Hurricanes. You lost 5-2 against. I mean, this team's not even there. Wow, Dave says putting Danny Briere in that front office. I'm still scratching my head on that move. You know, Dave, I try and give him the benefit of the doubt because he's an ex-Flyer, and I was wondering it myself too, Dave, if putting an ex-Flyer was going to be the right move. I don't know, Dave. I don't know if this again. I don't know if this team and this organization knows how to pick, build. I mean, have homegrown talent that was a home run. Travis Konechny, he's a triple. Michkov, still very young, but so far in a rookie year, yeah, I'll give him a homer. But outside of that, maybe he didn't want Morgan Frost to go on. Maybe he didn't want Joel Farabee behind closed doors to get moved on. I get it. It's to get the cap space back. Joe Sullivan, he goes, this all season is where Briere gets judged. He tore it down. Now he needs to build it. Yes, and with 7 draft picks, he better start building it. You better start benching. You went from Sam Hinkie. Now you better turn to Howard Roseman fast. And I don't know if he can. I don't know if Danny Barrera, the businessman, could get it done. I don't know what he's looking at. Now, apparently, after this whole thing went down, there's rumors that Cam York and John Tortorella have gotten into it. I don't know if that's true. But after this all went down, he apparently had a talk with the team saying, you guys need to play for each other and stick together. In the last 2 games, the Flyers have looked great, but their season's over. What does that matter now? So that goes back to my question. Because this goes all the way back. Does this team know how to build? And then when they lose, they look for the scapegoat of just saying, hey, you know what? We are on the rebuild mode. We'll be ready in a few years. Don't worry, Flyer sheep. We'll be there for you. Because that's all I hear is just a blah, 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 blah. The same spiel I've been hearing since Chuck Fletcher, since Dave Haxtell. I've been hearing the Flyers have the greatest farm system in the world. I've been hearing that for the past decade, and I've gotten this. This is moving forward. It's been 5 years since they made to the playoffs. Anything. I think they just get lucky at years. With that 2010 year, 15 years ago when they went on a cup run. Yeah, that was a fluke. And now I'm seeing, and I get a lot of people ask me, Pat, I think Rick Tocchet would be a great. I don't want Rick Tocchet. I don't want. And it looks like Pierre Laviolette, if he don't make the playoffs with the Rangers, he's not going to be welcome back to New York. I don't want Pierre Laviolette. I want not the ex-Flyer, someone hasn't dealt with this organization. I don't want any of these ex-guys anymore. I'm tired. See what happens? My light goes out. See that? I broke a light. But in a hindsight, I don't want it. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta fix my light. Sorry there, guys. My foot hit the lighting. But anyway, the Flyers try to duct tape. Joe Sullivan checked in. Because the Flyers try to duct tape the whole Drew era. I like to tear it down. I agree with you on the fact that patience is wearing thin now. I want progress next season. Same here, Joe. I'm with you. I want progress. That's all. Is that too hard to ask? Like, I want a little progress from this squad. A little like I'm done playing patience. Like, get it right or get out. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a hockey expert, right? I'm just a fan, just like everybody else. My eyeballs just tell me a story. But Morgan Frost looked like he was an okay player. He had double-digit goals this year. And what? Because John Tortorella benches the young guys when they're not producing. And he's good. If that's going to make Mitchkov mad because he gets benches at times, and that makes him a better and aggressive player, then so be it. I like John Tortorella because he wasn't a soft coach. But yeah, this organization has just been a joke for quite some time. A joke. This Flyers organization has been a joke for quite some time. And it's funny too because I like my good buddy who was down at the press conference was doing a lot of hard questioning, and it just seems like there's never like it's funny because like 2 weeks ago he asked John Tortorella or Danny Barrera, when are we going to start adding some subtracting? He said, I don't know. Well, how are you going to say we have a 2 to 3 year window of rebuilding and then you don't even know when we're going to start building? Like, I feel like the Philadelphia Flyers are Foreman Mills. I feel like the Philadelphia Flyers are a flea market for the good teams. You ever watch the movie Moneyball? It's like Brad Pitt said in there, we are the kitty litter to the good teams. We are chopped liver to the Yankees and Red Sox. Like that's how I feel like the Flyers are. I feel like the Flyers are a thrift shop for the good teams, for the buyers. But yeah, I'm with you, Joe. Like they never really did anything to turn around that whole Giroux era. They gave them Wayne Simmons and Jacob Voracek. And there was never a goalie. Steve Mason, Michael Neuwirth. I remember those guys. It just stinks. Like, when are we going to get the next household name other than Mitchkov? Because I understand you have to build within the draft, right? You have to build. Look at the NHL. You have to build within the draft. Look at the NHL now. You have to build. Austin Matthews, homegrown Toronto. Edmonton Oilers, homegrown Connor McDavid. So yes, you do have to build through the draft, but you also have to build around. And I don't know if this organization has failed at doing that for years. So anyway, I just want to go back to my original topic. John Tortorella is out, and you know there was. I don't know what they're going to do as far as the next guy, but I mean, I'm with Joe. This is the summer where Danny Barrera needs to pack on some weight, get on that diving board, jump as high as he can, and come back down with the biggest cannonball and make a huge splash. If not, if he does not make a huge splash, I guarantee you, the Flyer homers, the Flyer sheep, they're going to get out of that pool. They're going to get out of that pool. It's just a shame. Yeah, and this is I agree with Joe. I think this is definitely the time. It's make do some, Danny, and not just him. Keith Jones. I mean, where's Keith Jones been? I mean, I know he's not the general manager of the team, but he was all talking, all happy going about being the president of the Flyers organization, and through these hard times, where's he been to answer the call? I'd like to get some of his opinions right now. The current state of this hockey team. I listen. Can you believe? Can you really blame John Tortorella? Like Dave said, can you really blame him for the way that this season has just went right to the toilet? No, you can't blame him. I mean, this team's not even showing any effort. They're showing effort now because the general manager is talking. But when the coach needs you guys to play, you couldn't show up. And it's funny to me because I feel like in some ways John Tortorella kind of exposed the curtain a little bit. Because if this was just a rebuild season, who cares if they get smoked 8-2, 5-0 at home? Who cares? Don't even show. It's just a rebuild. Just show glimpses of your skills. That's it, right? There's more to it. More to it. There is a lot more to it. Because, like I said, this team showing you that there's a lack of talent. You have to move on from Sean Couturier. You have to get rid of all these old guys. Like they got rid of one. That was get rid of Scott Laughton. You got to get rid of more. You got to goodbye Coots. You've done nothing in the last 5-6 years. Done nothing. Out. Everyone gets so excited like he's this bona fide star. He was never a star. Joseph says Torts has a shelf life, good coach, but his time was up. Yeah, listen, that's all hockey coaches. Hockey coaches' tenures don't never really last that long. They really don't, unless you're John Cooper with Tampa Bay. That's so far been like the only coach I've seen that's kept his job for a long time. But I mean, it sucks. I mean, look, John Tortorella's message is hot for 1 minute, gets cold, and while the team was buying in, that's like I said, everything's from behind the scenes is starting to leak out more and more. But this is still not a good look. Even through a rebuild, this is not a good look. And the way John Tortorella made it sound like rebuilding, we can't find one brick to get started with. I'm with Joe here. He goes, no one wants Kutz, bro. Contract, bro. They finally have money this summer. Let's see what they do. Yeah. No, let's go see. Let's go see how they spend. Let's see what John Tortorella does. I'm not sorry, Danny Barrera. Let's see how he starts spending that cash. I'm very, very curious. Yeah, this to me, Joe, I think this is going to be the summer where I think a lot of Flyer fans are going to hold him accountable. But I'm telling you, this is the Flyers are, man. They are the bottom feeders. Like if you're not a hockey fan, like let me describe what the Flyers are like. You know, what I mean, they are the New York Jets right now. They are the New York Giants right now. They are any bad team you could think of. Any other league, they're just terrible. There's never direction. They go through coaches and general managers and goalies like I go through cookies. Like just think, like you're in Travis Konecny's shoes. This is your going to be your fourth head coach. Now, you've been here through the Dave Haxel when you were a rookie. You got AV. Now you got John Tortorella. Now what's next? Terrible. But anyway, guys, listen, I'm going to get ready to wrap up the show. One more comment. Joe says this team has some pieces. They have good wings. They need to get a center, a number one defenseman, and a goalie. Yeah. And two turtle doves and a Christmas tree there, Joe. But yeah, like I said, Joe, we'll see what this hockey team can do this summer. But guys, listen, stay tuned. We've got a lot more going down all across all the time. First, Bats and Bells, post game show for your Phillies. You got all that and more. So guys, stay tuned. I'll catch you later. Guys, catch me Thursday night on It's a Wrap talking Union. See you guys. Have a good one.